Welcome to the Ghost Stories YouTube channel. Here, we will bring you the scariest experiences through ghost stories, mysteries, and inexplicable mysteries of the mysterious world. Whether you are someone who enjoys learning about ghost stories or simply looking for a new entertainment experience, our channel will be the ideal destination. Join us in the horror space and get ready for the most tense and scary moments. Don't forget to press the subscribe button and notification bell so you don't miss any new videos. Thank you for joining the Ghost Stories YouTube channel, and now, get ready for some spooky moments with us. The Dead Spell. Chapter 2. That woman, so scary. Waking up in the middle of the night makes me quite tired, but life must go on. My family now has more people, I can't return. Besides, this is my house, my aunt left it to me. I can't suddenly move to another house just because of a few nightmares in the middle of the night. I'm a practical person and not superstitious, so I got used to it. Involuntary sleep paralysis and strange dreams. It's just a dream, I told myself. My aunt passed away a year ago, and we held a death anniversary celebration at her house, which is my house. Relatives of the same age as me, my uncle's family and my uncle's family, didn't like me, especially after my aunt made a will to leave her property to me. They came to the death anniversary with glares, taunts, and kicks, and I didn't care. What I do alone, what everyone else does, fighting back against the jealous crowd only makes them satisfied for making me angry. Indifferently ignoring me is the best way to make them uncomfortable. But many times I try to ignore it, but they don't understand. That afternoon, I had a big argument with my cousin because my sister not only stabbed me but also brought my mother in, saying that my mother was maliciously plotting to force my aunt to will the house to me while I'm not awake. It's unreasonable, according to the lawyer. She made this will a few months ago after she got sick, also after Mr. Kwong passed away in Quang Ninh, meaning while she was alert and healthy, legal. Admit it. After a while of arguing, my cousin slapped me. I was usually gentle but stubborn and rushed to fight back. The two of us struggled for a while before our parents discovered them and rushed to separate us. At this time, I discovered that the emerald necklace that I usually wear around my neck had fallen to the ground and shattered, completely broken. As far as I know, emerald is quite hard, how can it break so easily? I'm sorry, I really like this bracelet. Starting from that night, nightmares are no longer just nightmares. At 3 o'clock at night, I had just fallen asleep for a while when I heard singing in the hallway. Thinking I was dreaming again, I ignored it and fell asleep. But the singing got louder and louder, accompanied by the sound of a woman crying, making me shiver. I opened my eyes and blinked a few times, thinking I was dreaming, but strangely, the singing still sounded like that. I pinched my hand a few times. No, I wasn't dreaming. I was so scared that my whole body was cold, but I tried to listen. It was still the same singing accompanied by the same soft crying. After about 15 minutes, I was paralyzed on the bed, not daring to move, continuously chanting, Namo Amitabha Buddha. The singing also ended. She did not continue to cry. But just after about 5 minutes, a horrifying sound of laughter rang out in a ghostly way, piercing my ears. That night I stayed awake. The next day when I went to work, seeing me depressed, Ms. Min, who worked with me, immediately asked about me. I hesitantly told the story and she said, "The house you're in is haunted." I shivered. She dragged me to the house of a very famous psychic in Hanoi. She said he was very skilled and could eliminate any ghost. When I entered the teacher's palace, I saw him looking at me a bit strangely. The teacher told me to draw cards, so I immediately chose one. Ace of Spades. The teacher shook his head, looked at me again, and suddenly said mysteriously, "For the past life, you have to pay for it in this life. I can't help you, please go home." The teacher is very young, only about 30 years old, which is completely different from what I thought. He must be very old. I said with my mouth asking for help, but in my heart I couldn't help but look down on him. I didn't say he was very good, but he was still mysterious, pretending to be a ghost. On a trip for nothing, Ms. Min seemed stunned because in her eyes, Mr. Ko was an extremely talented person who could do anything, but now he rejected me. She looked at me like she was looking at a dying cancer patient with no hope of living, smacking her lips. I chuckled inside thinking she was overdoing everything. What the hell, maybe someone in my neighbor's house was acting up last night. Having said that, Ms. Min still dragged me to Lin Phi Pagoda in Bok Mai to ask for a peace talisman, telling me to keep it with me at all times. I nodded and put it in my wallet. That night, I dreamed again. This time I dreamed that my aunt was stuffed into an open coffin. She was lying in the coffin struggling and crying, next to the woman who had no eyes from last time. Her legs were paralyzed, but at this moment her shriveled legs were floating in the air. She looked straight at the coffin with her eyes closed, while laughing very strangely. My aunt was crying and struggling, saying, "Please forgive Tam, please forgive Tam." That woman said, "The blessing is in your mother. You create karma, he must bear it." My aunt cried again, "Forgive him, forgive him." She shook her head, her spindly arm reached into the coffin, my aunt in the coffin groaned and pushed in pain. Suddenly she turned her eyes towards me, I screamed in panic. Thank you for taking the time to watch Ghost Stories video. Hopefully the content has brought you interesting and meaningful moments. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe to the Ghost Stories YouTube channel to follow the channel's next videos. See you in the next video. Have a good day.